Hi, so I'm going to show you an example of one of the skills for loose lead walking. This one is called crab walking. So what it starts off with is, I've got Potter here, is going backwards, feeding your dog going backwards. Then you go into a sideways crab walking, going sideways, and then you turn into your heel position. So it's a nice progression from a really easy thing for your dogs to follow the food in front of you, to slightly harder sideways, and then a little bit harder into that correct heel position. So what I'm going to do, I've got some treats in my hand here, break them into little smaller bits, and then I'm going to have Potter, it's going to be done off lead or on lead. I'm going to have Potter just follow my hands. Okay, so follow, just going to feed. Then I'm going to turn with my hand closest to him, moving sideways, and then into a couple of steps. I'll do that coming back to you too. Feed, turn sideways, and then eventually into close position. So you can see he's nicely in heel position now. So the technique is, when I'm feeding, I'm literally just rewarding straight into their mouth. So it's quite a good thing to practice. Can you transfer food straight into their mouth? So feeding, then going sideways and feeding, and then eventually turning my hand this way up to feed as we're walking along. Try not to drop the treat. Okay, feed. Okay, so if I do those techniques just sideways to camera, so you can see I'm feeding, and I'll come back, and then I'm going sideways, feeding, and then these turn into walking sideways, feeding. Okay. Now if your dog was to jump up to try and get the treat, you're just going to lift your hand up until their 4 feet go back onto the ground, and then bring your hand down. The same thing if they're going to jump for your hand. If you've got a smaller dog, you're just going to lift your hand up, wait for them to go down all 4 feet, and then you're going to bring the treat down. You can drop the treats on the ground, though the hand follow is a better technique with this one. Okay, so if you've got a really snappy dog, then drop the treats on the ground until they work out how to take food nicely. Okay, so this is just showing you those techniques, and have a play with this in a non-distracting environment. The backward heeling, this part of it, is also great for getting your dog's attention from something out there that they're sniffy. So you can go down and say, come, and then you can move them into your heel position after that. Okay.